Hello and a very warm welcome to the United Forum. This is bringing you your latest Manchester United news, transfer news updates, and your opportunity to voice your opinion out for the very first time in Sri Lanka. And a very warm welcome back to the pre-match press conference show. United's, in fact, Premier League is back. The season is starting tomorrow, kicking off with Arsenal taking on Crystal Palace, if I'm not wrong. And yes, the much awaited transfer window is almost coming to an end. And I know that Manchester United, in specific, have been having one of the best transfer windows. And as a United fan, we're all over the moon with the number of signings United have made after their very worst, in fact, after their worst Premier League season they've ever had in the past decade or even more. So to start off, once again, a very warm welcome to the pre-match show. In fact, the pre-match press conference show. It's been about 2 or 3 or 4 months since we had one. Last time it was done by Erik Ten Hag. In fact, a few months back, it was done by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Then it shifted on to Ralph Rangnick, and now we are here with Erik Ten Hag, hopefully the man for the next decade for Manchester United at least. Now, interesting pre-match press conference. We do know that this is Erik Ten Hag's first pre-match press conference as well as Manchester United manager in the Premier League season. The Premier League season, in fact, if you are not informed, it kicks off at midnight today at 12:30 a.m. The first match starts off with Arsenal taking on Crystal Palace. Just to give you a brief on that Premier League fixture list, let me give you this. So it moves on with Fulham taking on Liverpool. Newly promoted side Fulham have made quite a few signings as well. Interesting to see how they will look in the Premier League with a new manager, Scott Park, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, hopefully. I guess I got it wrong. In fact, I guess I got it right. And let's have a look. Nah, Premier League don't give away the manager, do they? You've got to find that. Let's just have a look. If I'm not wrong, it's got to be Scott Parker. Fulham and Bournemouth, they just keep switching managers, don't they? So give me some. Let me look now. This is really starting to annoy. Give me a minute. Let me have a look. I know I'm a little wasting time here. In fact, it's Marco Silva. Yes, the former Bournemouth manager, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. Bournemouth's manager, in fact, now is Scott Parker. If I'm not right. If I'm not wrong. In fact. Yeah, there we go. So yes, Scott Parker's Fulham will be taking Jurgen Klopp's Liverpool, the team which did come second to champions last season. And then we go on at 7:30. In fact, with Bournemouth taking on Aston Villa. Aston Villa have made quite a few signings as well. Interesting to see how they will look under Steven Gerrard with these signings. Diego Carlos and Babacar Kamara to mark his signings for them. The Leeds on Marshall's Leeds take on Bruno Lage's Wolves, who haven't made quite the signings yet, interestingly. And Newcastle will take on Nottingham Forest. It will be interesting to see how Newcastle look as well. They have made a few signings, the likes of Sven Botman and Ollie Pope as well. In fact, they are also trying to get James Maddison. They have submitted a bid for him as well, which goes up to about 50 million. Interesting to see what happens with that. Tottenham will take on Southampton at 7:30 as well, and then at 10 o'clock the final game of Saturday night will be Everton taking on Chelsea. Very interested to see how Chelsea will look. They have not made the best of. In fact, they have made good transfers in Kalidou Koulibaly and Marco Cucurella, which was a very interesting transfer saga there because Brighton did come out with statements, and so did Chelsea a few hours later. So it'll be interesting to have a look at Chelsea because they don't have a strike as well. Reports say they are after Aubameyang, interestingly. So I guess it'll be either Armando Broja or it is either going to be Kai Havertz up front. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I think Broja moved on to West Ham, didn't he? I'm not quite sure. And then we have starting off Sunday Night Football at 6:30. We got Leicester taking on Brentford. Leicester going to a going through a few problems with financial difficulties. They've had to make a few sales as well, and a man I thought who would be at Leicester throughout his career in Kasper Schmeichel has unfortunately left Leicester. I really admire the goalkeeper Kasper Schmeichel, especially since he is very connected to Manchester United in terms of his father Peter Schmeichel as well. So I really did think that if David Dyer never came to Manchester United, maybe Cassius Michael would have been that goalkeeper United would have had. But fortunately, unfortunately, it's not that. But I've admired Cassius Michael. He's quite a good keeper. Did not have the best of seasons last season, but Leicester have had to sell him because of the financial situation they are in. And then again, at 6:30 the game, we are in fact having our fingers crossed and impatiently waiting for Manchester United versus Brighton, and then also we've got West Ham United taking on Manchester City. So interesting few fixtures there as well to start off. I think very good fixtures. It will be interesting to see how the teams will look to shape up in the new season, because it's going to be a really long season, plenty of new things as well. I think one thing most people have forgotten is the 5 substitution rule, where 5 substitutions actually allowed now in the Premier League. So it will be interesting to see what happens there. So just testing my mic. I'm not sure if it's actually working. So it'll be interesting to see how the Premier League shapes up. It's a long tournament, the World Cup in the middle of it as well, and then we've got the 5 substitution rule, and there'll be a small break in between as well due to the World Cup. So it's a long tournament. Players are a little injury prone, you could say, with the World Cup coming as well. It's a long tournament. They've got to maintain fitness levels as well. So yes, squad depth. I told you this season is going to be a season of squad depth and quality in squad depth, in which United lack both quality and they also don't have squad depth. So let's move on to the pre-match press conference reaction. To start off, it was a very interesting pre-match press conference. Like I did tell, it was Erik ten Hag's first pre-match press conference as well, and I'm not quite sure if the press would be a fan of Erik ten Hag, but it is what it is. I quite like the way Erik ten Hag approaches the media as well. Directly shows him where their place is actually, and shows that what stays in the team should stay in the squad. There are things you should reveal to the media, and there are things which you shouldn't be revealing to the media, is what I think Erik ten Hag is trying to do. And he is showing the press where their boundaries are as well. He's drawing the line and showing them where their line is as well, and definitely showing them that they definitely can't cross that line. So we move on to the pre-match press conference reaction. So the first question that was asked from Erik ten Hag is the update on Cristiano Ronaldo. Is he fit? Is he back since he's back in training? Is he fit? Is he happy? Answer is simple as well. Do give me a minute here as I get you the quotes, so I could read it out to you guys as well. So here it is. Yeah, almost there. 1 minute. Yeah. There we have. So yes. So the first question that was asked from Erik ten Hag is if Cristiano Ronaldo will start against Brighton, and the question started off with Melissa Reddy, who, if I'm not wrong, is a senior journalist at Sky Sports, and I really did feel a little sorry for her as well, because she asked about Ronaldo. The question was bluntly answered directly. There's nothing much to give away from the answer Erik ten Hag did give as well. He was on point, short and simple. And she tried adding a little more to the questions, thinking Erik ten Hag would reveal just a little bit more, but Erik ten Hag really did show her place. So starting off with the first question, Erik ten Hag was asked from in fact Erik ten Hag was asked if Ronaldo would start against Brighton on Sunday, and what Erik ten Hag did have to say on this is simple, 3 words: see on Sunday. We will see on Sunday. In fact, that's 4 words, is what Erik ten Hag did have to say. He also moved on he was also in fact asked emphasize on the same question which was added was asked. In fact, let me put that in proper words. So the same question was added, or was added the situation on Anthony Martial's injury. And what Eric Ten Hag did have to say on this is that it's always difficult to say. I hope not too long. I think we will have solutions to sort this out. In fact, what he clearly say is it's always difficult to say with these type of injuries. I hope not too long. I think we will have solutions to sort it out, is what Eric Ten Hag did have to say. So we move on to the next question that was asked from Eric Ten Hag, and this too, if I'm not wrong, was added to the same question, was it? So yeah, in fact, we move on, and in fact this too was added to the same question by Melissa Reddy, once again trying to get a little bit more, somewhat whatever she can from Eric Ten Hag, but like I did tell you, he really showed where she is supposed to be. So he, with the concerns of Martial's injury, does that mean United, in fact, does that show that United are lacking attacking options? Is Eric Ten Hag concerned on the options he has for the attack, is what he was asked, or what was added to the question. And what Eric Ten Hag did have to say on this is that we said before, we are still searching to strengthen the squad, is what Eric Ten Hag had to say. Short, simple, and really showed Melissa Reddy where she really had to be. Not just Melissa Reddy, in fact Reddy, but definitely almost all these journalists who were there. He did not give away much. He really showed that what stays in the squad has to say, it has to stay in the squad. There is certain amount of things we could reveal to the media, and there is certain amount of things which we can't. And the answers were short, sweet, and on point, and nothing much. No fairy tales or no happily ever afters. Moving on from that, Eric Ten Hag, in fact, we move on to the next question, which was asked by, I'm not quite sure who, but the question was if he is concerned with the options he has on midfield, considering the fact that United have been looking for a defensive midfielder. So are there any concerns on the options he has on the midfield? Now, what Eric Ten Hag did have to say on this is, I think so. In fact, as we saw in the preseason, we did pretty well there. We have a good team, but we can still strengthen the squad, is what Eric Ten Hag did have to say. Now, I know that his replies have been quite favouring United squad at present, which we as fans don't agree to, because we've seen what this squad delivers, we've seen the qualities in this squad, and the fact that we have lost depth with outgoing shows that this squad is even more weak. But I know it's at times frustrating, to see someone say that they are happy with this current midfield, they are happy with this squad, but as a manager of Manchester United, when you on your first season, what do you actually expect Eric Ten Hag to come out to the media and say? I know he has been blunt, I know he does not seem to be on the good side of the press, but you really can't come out and say there as anything more than that, like anything more than what Eric Ten Hag has already said. This is the maximum you could say as a Manchester United manager. You can't come out and say that this squad failed last year as well, and I'm definitely sure they're going to fail this year. I really did not want to have them. Unfortunately, the club hasn't been backing me. You don't expect a manager to come out and be as blunt as that, but you expect them to say something at a certain stage. But I think Eric Ten Hag has done pretty decently, and in my opinion, he's definitely not getting into the good side of the journalist. Now, what he did have to say on this is, in fact, what Eric Ten Hag did have to say. Eric Ten Hag's answer to this question was, in fact, let me just get you that quote once again. I lost it again, didn't I? Yeah, so what he did have to say is, I think so, as we saw in, yes, I did read that to you as well. I'm sorry, I apologize. Yeah, like he did say, in fact, I too did say that, you really can't expect a manager to come out and be as blunt as I did mention before. So yes, Eric Ten Hag, his answers are as blunt as it could be. You can't be more direct to the media as a manager as well. So yeah, that's decent answer to the question on the midfield. Now let's move on to the next question. Now this is where it starts getting interesting. on the, in fact, pre-match press conference. The next question that was asked from Eric Ten Hag is if he is, in fact, yeah, uh, is Martinez, in fact, Lisandro Martinez and Christian Eriksen fit enough to start tomorrow's game against Brighton. Now, and what Eric Ten Hag have to say on this is that we need competition in the squad, but also we are going into a long season with a lot of games. We need a lot of good players. They are fit enough to start, is what Eric Ten Hag did have to say. So basically, that is a hint coming out from the manager as well, saying that Martinez and Eriksen are fit enough to start. Whether they will start, we will have to see on Sunday. But if you ask me who would start out of Eriksen and Martinez, I think 95% confirmation I could give you is that Lisandro Martinez would start besides either Harry Maguire or Rafael Varane on Sunday. You never know. Eric Ten Hag is the manager. Do excuse me there, that did not look nice. So yeah, Eric Ten Hag is the manager, like I did tell you. So the final decision is really up to him. It'll be interesting to see what his first lineup would be. But I really do hope and pray the centre back pairing would be Rafael Varane and Lisandro Martinez. But as Harry Maguire is the captain, I do think Rafael Varane will be dropped and Martinez would come in for his place along with Harry Maguire by his side. Interesting to see if he would actually play as a defensive midfielder, that is Lisandro Martinez, and if he would go with the centre back pairing of Rafael Varane and Harry Maguire or the Lindelof. And yes, definitely right back would be Diogo Dalot, because we know how much Eric Ten Hag likes an attacking fullback. Interesting to see who will actually start at left back. Is it going to be Tyrell Malacia or is it going to be Luke Shaw? I think we will have to wait and see until Sunday. Moving on to the next question that was asked from Eric Ten Hag is the next question that was asked from him is in fact the game against Brighton on Sunday and the season ahead. What are his thoughts on that? Now, what he did have to say is that it is exciting, as is every season, but when you arrive with a new team, it is tough. But we are really looking forward to Sunday. They are a good team, a decent team, and play attractive football. I like them from what I have seen, is what Eric Ten Hag has did say. Yes, true, they do play attack in football. They've got a decent team, and I think more than a decent team, they've got a very much decent manager. And I really do think why Brighton are where they are, or why Brighton are known for the football they play today, is because of Graham Potter, top manager. I think at least by the end of season he deserves to be up there along with a mid-table club. I know he has made Brighton a mid-table club, but if you look at the squad, apart from Graham Potter, you really don't see any promise from any other manager who would bring Brighton where they are today with the squad that they have, the budget they do have. So, bringing that squad where they are right now is actually quite a terrific job done by Graham Potter. It will be interesting to see where Graham Potter would move after this, his next step in his career. Somewhere like an Everton maybe, or a mid-table club, maybe even a West Ham. I really do think he would fit as the next West Ham manager, maybe even Newcastle, which I don't think would suit him, but something like a West Ham would really do for Graham Potter. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with him, and I really do think if Gareth Southgate is sacked, my top 3 candidates for the England job would be Graham Potter, definitely Eddie Howe, who I don't think would leave Newcastle at the moment, and I would actually like to give, now my third option would be an option which most English fans wouldn't like, but I would actually like to see Dean Smith do a job with that team, because I really do think he is a decent manager. He brought Aston Villa back up to the Premier League as well and was doing a decent job, just was having a rough patch and then unfortunately was sacked in my opinion. But football is a game of opinions as it is, and that is my opinion. You may have a different opinion, so do share that as well. Now, if you've got any questions related to Manchester United, anything you've got related to Manchester United, do post them on the live chat, and keep them coming. And moving on from that, and let me just move this away so those in fact the live chat would be clear by then. And there we go. Oh, let's just take that off, shall we? That's better, isn't it? Yeah, let's move on to the next question that was asked from Eric Ten Hag. Now, the next question that was asked from the press to Eric Ten Hag is on the players leaving early. Now, mind if you have not been watching the preseason game, the last preseason match Manchester United had was against Rayo Vallecano, and something that was very highlighting from that game was the players leaving early, and one player very focused, and the agenda was directed towards this was Cristiano Ronaldo, which Eric Ten Hag did not quite like in the pre-match press conference if you did watch it. Now, Eric Ten Hag was asked about the players leaving early, and he was also asked about Cristiano Ronaldo leaving early. Now, what Ronaldo, in fact, Eric Ten Hag had to say on this is something I really liked, which is something I very much back. I think this is what you should be doing as a manager. Your main, uh, you know, what comes first is your team, your squad, your players who you have in that squad as well. You should be protecting them before you protect anything else, because as Manchester United go, I think you definitely shouldn't be protecting the club. You should expose the club, expose the cases. Yes, that might cost you your job, but apart from that, I think as Manchester United manager, your main focus should be protecting your players and protecting the squad you've got behind you. Now, Eric Ten Hag was asked about the players leaving early, about Cristiano Ronaldo leaving early, and this was his reply to the media. Now, I have to point, there were many players who left, but the spotlight is on Cristiano Ronaldo. That is not right. Do your research and make sure that you know that you make out many players left, and it was not just Cristiano Ronaldo, is what Eric Ten Hag did have to say, which is a reply I really like. I thought that reply was fantastic. It really showed the press their boundaries and where they actually stand, what they can know, what they can't know. I think was really shown by that answer, and that actually defined how Eric Ten Hag is going to be in these pre-match press conferences. And I really do think that the press aren't going to be a fan of him, and might even put him somewhere out there. Jawad Marjan says, "She's this guy looks very handsome. Oh my god, Premier League gonna be very great this year. Amazing." Thanks a lot for the love shown on the live chat. Keep them coming as well, and don't forget to subscribe, smash a like on the video, and do share this video around as well if you've got any friends who are part of the United family. Now, we've got a few upgrades coming out of the show as well. Do be a little patient, hopefully in the next 4 or 5 months, because I've got my uh, advanced level examination coming as well. So hopefully after that I'll bring you your upgrades to the show. I know it's been the background and stuff is a little boring, but yes, I'll definitely get you the upgrades as soon as I'm done with my advanced levels. Got to focus on that as well, because need a future from myself besides having this live show on YouTube. So moving on to the next question that was asked from Eric Ten Hag. And once again, a question on Ronaldo. Now, there were a lot of questions on Cristiano Ronaldo. This more than a press conference was more of an interview on Ronaldo. Had it been, a very friendly one, but Eric Ten Hag really showed where the press should be, like I keep telling you. And once again, this was on Ronaldo. How he feels about Cristiano Ronaldo. Is he fit? He is back in training. Is he going to be part of the next game? Was somewhat the question that was asked from Eric Ten Hag. And what he did have to say is, we have a top striker. Really happy he's here with the squad. We stick to the plan, is what Eric Ten Hag did have to say, short and sweet. And moving towards the final question that was asked from Eric Ten Hag is how important it is to start off the Premier League season with a win. And now what Eric Ten Hag did have to say is that, I think we have to look forward to the first game. We want to win every game, and we will be trying to do that from Sunday, is what Eric Ten Hag did have to say. And I too really do think that the first game of every competition, every game, not just football, but you take cricket, you take rugby, and I think any sport, any tournament, your first game is what really gives you that push and kind of definition to your season, you could say, because that first game is really important and shows you where you are, and a push start is always helpful. And that is why I think the first game is as important as it is, because you win your first game, you can. You are a bit uh, on the comfort side of things. You are more on the driving seat, controlling things. Whereas if you lose the first game, it's a really worry. You've got to work on your game as well. It's not that you don't have to work on your game when you win things, but yes, you've got to play a bit of a catch-up game, which is not quite good, starting off so early in the Premier League season. And we know how things go with the likes of City and Liverpool. When they do start winning, they don't lose their games quite easily as well. So we've got to stick to winning ways, maintain consistency, and every player out on that squad, when they step onto the field, they have to step on with intent. And moving on to the final question that was asked from Eric Ten Hag is, yes, like I did say, how important it is to start off with a win. That was the question before the last. In fact, on the current squad, what Eric Ten Hag thinks and his opinion on the current squad. Now, what he did have to say on that is that would be a good situation to have signings done by now, is what he meant there. But I am happy with the squad. I'm happy with the signings up until now. We are working all together. I'm happy with the current squad, and we need the right players, is what Eric Ten Hag had to say. And added to the question was about Frankie de Jong, how important a defensive midfielder has been to the Manchester United squad in the past few years, and the fact that we have been linked to Frankie de Jong, how important is he going to be to this squad? Now, when he was asked about when he was asked from when Frankie de Jong was asked from when questions about Frankie de Jong in fact were asked from Erik Ten Hag, he did have a kind of a smirky smile on him and said, "We want Frankie?" question mark. And he also said, "I cannot comment on a player contracted to another club. When we have news, we will bring it to you," is what Erik Ten Hag did have to say. And considering the pre-match press conference, that's pretty much it. Basically, my opinion on this is I really like the way Erik Ten Hag approached this pre-match press conference. Yes, it's not press friendly, but I really do think that you should be showing your boundaries. You should be showing not your boundaries. In fact, you should be showing the press the boundaries, what they can know, what they can't know, and the information you should be giving out to the press should be quite limited, because United and the press have been having a very good relationship, you can say. Because good relationship in a way is because players have been leaking information to the press, which is something that the press like, and that is why I say it is a good relationship. But it is, in terms of a fan's point of view, it's a bad relationship. In terms of the press, their point of view, it is a good relationship. In terms of the fans, it's definitely a bad relationship, and a relationship, in my opinion, which I think should maintain boundaries. I think as a club like Manchester United, you shouldn't be revealing too much to this press as well, and you should be showing the press their boundaries. This is what we are going to give you. This is what you should give out to the fans, out to the public as well. There isn't going to be anything more than this. If you really want to find out something more than this, maybe you sign up as a player. And that is what Erik Ten Hag is doing as well, because United's history with the press has been quite bad. Information has been leaked out quite a lot. Information that shouldn't be leaked out has been leaked out as well. And then Dean Henderson coming out recently, and who's still under contract at Manchester United but loaned out to Nottingham Forest, and he too has come out and given out a few comments which is not a comment I would give if I was a Manchester United player. I think not just me, but any player with proper reputation or any player with standards wouldn't say, if you are contracted to a team, and for Dean Henderson to come out like that and reveal things to the press the way he did actually shows how unhappy he was the previous season, and definitely he is one of the league's last season as well. I'm happy that he's left on loan, and if Manchester United fans out there really want Dean Henderson to come back and become the #1 goalkeeper for Manchester United, I think you have to think twice. And if you want to really think twice, if you haven't been thinking this through, do go watch that interview Dean Henderson did have. I'm not quite sure which media partner he did have it with. Was it BT Sports or Sky Sports? I'm not quite sure, but do go watch it. Just go on YouTube and maybe type Dean Henderson press conference or something. Just type some rubbish which would get you that interview, and you'd actually see how he approached the media, and he definitely hints out that he is one of the leaks there in that dressing room. So I really don't want him to come. I think Dean Henderson was the best option we had in that squad where we could make some money, and United, as usual, did decide to loan him out. Now, my opinion on the press conference, getting back to that, I think I really like the way Erik ten Hag approached the media, and I'm definitely sure that the media isn't going to be a fan of Erik ten Hag, and they're really going to, look into the slightest of mistakes Erik ten Hag makes, and definitely emphasize on each and every mistake as much as they can, as if he's committed murder, and try to get him out of there. But as Manchester United fans, what we need to do now is stand strong, stand together, and back this manager, because we know that this manager is a proper manager who could bring back the glory days for Manchester United, a proven manager. And we do know that the owners, the press, and the club are not competent people out there, so we do know who we have to get out first before the manager. We need to bring players who fit the manager, and not managers who fit the players and the boats who would dance with their tunes. We need players to dance to the tunes of the manager, not the manager dancing to the tunes of the players. So I really like the way Erik ten Hag did approach this pre-match press conference. Now, do send in your opinions on the press conference as well, what you think about what Erik ten Hag did give away as well, and what he didn't give away, how he approached it, and what you think about the pre-match press conference. And do send in your predictions for the match against Brighton as well, and also your predicted lineup. If you do get a lineup or the score right for the next match, you earn yourself a shout out through our Instagram page. Now, I really did want to give you my pre-match lineup. Unfortunately, I'm unable to display it on the screen, so I'll just give it out to you, read it out to you. So my predicted lineup for the match against Brighton is, starting off between the sticks, it's going to be David De Gea. On left back, it's going to be Cyril Malacia. I'm going to go with Lisandro Martinez as left centre back. Harry Maguire, as much as I hate it, on the right centre back. I would love to have Rafael Varane, but I'm definitely sure that Maguire is not going to be dropped. And at right back, I'm going to have Diogo Dalot. At defensive CDM, defensive midfield, I'll go with Fred. And I'm going to go with two number 8s in Christian Eriksen and Bruno Fernandes, which I do think won't happen. So I think it'll be, I think it's going to be McFred, yeah. Scott McTominay as a holding midfielder. Fred as the box-to-box, and I'm going to go with Bruno Fernandes as the number 10. And starting on the left, it's going to be Marcus Rashford, Anthony ELANGA as a striker, and on the right wing, hopefully if Jadon Sancho is fit, Sancho goes on to the bench. In fact, starting lineup. Injury update, Anthony Martial is out for this match. He won't be part of the squad because of his injury. And apart from that, no real update. Jadon Sancho has returned to training, if I'm not wrong, as well. So hopefully we do see him. I did see a few sources coming out and saying that Jadon Sancho is back. So yes, that's good news for us United fans. And my predicted score for this game is first game of the season. Erik ten Hag, no squad depth, but definitely got the quality. Not the best of quality, but quality to beat Brighton, I would say. And my prediction is 3-0 to Manchester United. Now, do send in your predictions. Do send in your predicted lineups. If you do get it right, you earn yourself a shout out. That's pretty much it concerning tonight's show, folks. You were live for the pre-match press conference reaction after a very, very long time. Erik ten Hag's pre-match press conference. Until I see you on Sunday for the match reaction and player ratings, do stay tuned in. And if you are new to the channel, do subscribe to our channel, smash a like on the video, and do share this video among your friends, family, and anyone you've got who are good supporters of Manchester United. Until I see you on Sunday at 10 p.m. for the pre-match, in fact, the post-match reaction and player ratings. This is good night and goodbye. This is the United Forum.